clapped his bronze hard against it. It was something fun and terror. Better perhaps but such were many tense moments others that happened. Again was made today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you can notice, I'm making a fair bit of noise with the generator. We've been getting a little bit of electronic work done. I want to seal up that battery bank, and I'm excited to get the doors on top of it because that'll mean that it's actually safe from me, the destroyer of everything. But we've got some big news today, and I'm making the noise. This is why. We got windows. Look at those. They were supposed to bring all 8 of them today, and that did not happen. The guy looked just as confused as I did when he showed up, and he said, "Why is there 8 things on this item sheet and only 4 windows in my truck?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, man. You tell me." So they don't make many trips out here to Gabriola. It's I mean, it's an island. It's island life. I'm out here 2 or 3 islands removed from the mainland, and things don't happen here quick. So that's just fine with me. I'm gonna work on building the window frames for the 4 windows that they did give me, and then it should make my life a lot brighter. If anything, it should at least keep the rainwater out a little bit better than that plywood does. Alright, well, the woodworking has been going pretty good. I changed the original plan. I don't know if you guys remember, the original plan was to sandwich the windows between, window panes between 2 layers of frame, which is basically the same way that I made these windows. Now, these windows I ordered are windshields, essentially. They are the exact same build style, heat treating, and laminate treating as a car windshield. So I figured cars go 110, 120 kilometers an hour down the highway and take impacts and keep people alive. They should be able to handle about you know, a few knots out there in the ocean and a wave coming over the bow from time to time. Got to remember too that these windows are 6.5 feet above the water line. So if they were lower, I think I'd go for a polyester based or a polymer based plexiglass, but because they're so high up and they're so less high risk. So I wanted to make something that still wouldn't buckle. So they have that sheet of laminate in between so that even if they do shatter, they stay together as one piece. And then I wanted to embed them heavily into really thick frames, which is what I've done here. So these are 2 inches by 2 inch solid fir in pieces. And I've dug a big channel, and that channel is still not deep enough. I need to make that about 3 or 4 millimeters deeper. But once it is, then we'll have the first window done. It's taken me a really long time just to do this first window because it is the first window. That's the way it always goes.
Available new worlds. Unfortunately, the present situation makes all people that was bathed. The felt was rubbed raw.
Alright, gang. Check it out. We got some window frames cut, rounded, rabbited, planed, but not installed and not bolted together, not glued together, and the glass itself is not embedded in. And the reason for that is, if you can hear behind me, it's raining. And although I did try to make the windows perfectly square, I also tried to make them line up with one another perfectly. And because it's a boat and everything is warping and twisting as it goes along the shape of a boat, and a brick doesn't, you know, move through the water really well, the windows aren't totally square. And because of that, I'm gonna put them together inside the window frames with a little bit of plastic around them so the epoxy doesn't stick itself shut. That way I get a nice snug fit, and they fit custom to the actual window, and then the epoxy will kind of fill in those like micro gaps in between. But I've mitered them as close as I can, so I think it's going to be, you know, a fraction of a millimeter worth of a gap if there is one anywhere. And then I'm going to embed the glass in some Sikaflex. I've decided to use Sikaflex. Check out that rabbit though, real deep. Didn't think it was gonna have to make it that deep, but my measurements are what they are, and I am what I am, a creature of imperfection. So there we go, deep rabbits. There's probably an advantage to that. I can't think of one right now, but I'm really happy having as much work done on these windows as I've had so far. Although I do really wish I was getting them installed right now, because it makes me super nervous to have these windows lying around. They're really tough windows, so I don't think they're gonna smash, but I am just an accident-prone monster, and I can just, I feel like I'm gonna break one of these real soon. So I'm gonna put them away somewhere relatively safe, and I'm gonna get to work back on my electronics cabinet. Alright, never mind the dangling lights here, I'll fix that in a second. Well, we got more of the electronic cabinet sorted out. There's the external control. There we go. Got lots going on over there. Learning a lot about Ubuntu, and you guys have been helping me out in the comments too. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about commands I can use, and some of you are like home automation experts and stuff, so thanks a lot for those comments, and I definitely will be reading up on all of it. I'm actually really excited about this part of the boat build, because I'm not a programmer, and like this is like the fun part of programming, so hopefully I'll learn a lot and enjoy it. But that's for like a future more comfortable Simon who's on his boat, who's nice and warm and toasty all the time. Not quite there yet. Getting close, not quite there. Now it's just in the spot. So there's the back panel, as you can see. I also want to give big ups to Oki. Now you guys know Oki. They're always sending me fun gadgets, and they outfitted me. I gave them like a sheet request of a bunch of stuff I needed for the boat, and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Those guys are swell. So they sent me this USB 3.0 bus. It's a little overkill just for my hard drives. I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but they keep sending me other stuff, and I am consistently impressed with the build quality, especially considering their price. They come in at a really cheap price point, and the product feels really premium. So this is just a USB bus. So basically we got a USB-A type over here, wire going into right there. So this is USB 3.0, so it's actually pretty quick, which is nice. And I've got USB 3 cables on all of these running down to my homemade hard drive holster. Yeah, it would be nice just to have internal drives eventually. These external ones are a little expensive and not quite as reliable, but it's what I have, and they're just left over from my photography business, so don't shame me. Just what I got lying around, I'm going to use them. I'm still storing backups of my old photography business stuff for clients, like 6 years later, still holding them. Thinking about you guys, you know, when you tell me, hey, I never downloaded those wedding photos, still got them on double backups. Oh my God. So yeah, if you really like buying hard drives, go be a photographer. It's great. And then let's move on over here. We've got a 12-volt connect for the Toughbook right there, and it's bolted in. I've made a 12-volt outlet and a USB outlet right there. That one's a high amperage 12-volt, so that's can handle that guy, which I'm going to glue it up against the wall there. I just haven't done that yet. Cable management in here has been a little bit, well, it's been tedious and it's ongoing, but it's going to be really nice when it's done. So we got all these little clamps here. These are for the random like computer cables, and then you'll see all of these black conduits. These run 12 volts all over up the sides. We got a bunch of different leads going in there. Here's our router for the boat. My buddy Mark sent this out for me, so big ups to Mark. You're the best. We're running the local network just on this one, so all securities and local stuff is all set up on this. We've got our comm box, which is currently disconnected. It is terrible, horrible, very poorly designed, and Schneider should be, well, actually this one's Connects, but it's owned by Schneider. Worst company in the world. Don't deal with them. They're horrible. Most money I spent for the least amount of satisfaction, and if they ever choose to sponsor me in the future, I don't care. I'm not taking it back. You're awful. You're just the worst. Bad. Bad. I'm not bitter or anything, but that was a $2,500 inverter, and it is awful. Awful. I'd rather pretty much anything other than that. I've had a lot of referrals to go check these guys out, and a lot of people swear by them, but my experience over the last year of working with it has been horrible, and I don't suggest it in the least. All right, rant over. Let's go into the back of the electronics. I'll show you what I did. All right, so believe it or not, this is actually like the tidy side of my wiring, and some of this is still like I'll sort it out. But behind this is the messy side. So we have the 12-volt leads all coming in. This is kind of tidy. And then we've got these great little bus bar connects here. I used to have them really janky before, and then we got these terminal blocks sent out, so thank you so much. Here's one of 6 12-volt transformers that we have on our boat, and a fuse block and a junction box. So every single one of the 6 units across the boat will look kind of like this. Fuse block, junction block, and actual transformer. And then we got the 48-volt leads right there with a quick disconnect, and that goes down and is hard bolted into the 48-volt system. So that's about 12% of all the electronics that I'm going to fit into that cabinet. So we got a lot more to do in there, but I'm pretty happy with where it is right today. Feeling pretty good. So let's get down to some woodworking. Let's get down some basics. she's looking good. That is the drying rack system. Just wanted to see if it fit. Got a little dry fit in there. We're gonna varnish it up, seal it up. I think I might just use spar varnish on that one. But basically plates and stuff will dry there, and then I'm gonna make a little drip scenario underneath that will tie into the sink where I have those little 1/2-inch inlets. So we'll have it drain into the sink inlet and go out that way, and that way it'll keep all my dishes dry. And I'm just gonna do some more sanding tonight, and I'll tuck in, pick up tomorrow with hopefully some sunshine so we can get these windows in. Good night.